place like Selma.
Let me ask you a general question. In general, from reflecting back, what kinds of things did black people endure in the struggle for voting rights, just in general?
Well, in general, and this is very important, that in terms of my particular view, I'm glad you asked that question. I think the violence that took place was not so much to destroy the individual, even like the hangings and stuff like that. They were for the purpose of discouraging other people who lived. They couldn't kill everybody, but they wanted to make examples so that would instill fear in the people, and that would discourage them and for them to find a reason not to continue trying to make efforts to register to vote or even get their freedom in other ways. So while they, as I say and I repeat, they know they couldn't kill everybody, but they picked out certain people, and some of them were leaders, important leaders. But I just want to emphasize that there has been a pattern, not only in terms of assassinating and killing black people, but they also killed white people for the same reason, to discourage them from trying to make changes. Push a truck, because it had high bumper guards. And he said, maybe you ought to come out and take a look. So I got out of my car real fast. It was late at night. And as I bent over, he clobbered me in the head. And I went down in the middle of the street. And I got back up again and I looked right at him. And he all off and he hit me again. I have the scars on my head. And then he got right up close to me the third time and jumped up in the air and hit me down in my temple of my head, trying to find a soft spot. I went down again, rolled over, got back up again, looked at him. I could hardly see him because the blood was dripping down my eyelashes, but I knew where he was. So I tried to find his eyes, because we were trained in nonviolence, that the eyes are the windows of the soul. And I was trying to strike his conscience by looking at him. And he started shaking. He got nervous, started backing up, because he could knock me out, and that's probably something that he was assigned to do. And then I realized he had a gun. He was hitting me with a gun. So he pointed his gun at me. And I said, oh my goodness, he's going to kill me. So I had a neighbor who lived upstairs over my apartment, and his name was Red, light-skinned black person. And he'd gone to Korea and Vietnam, and he sort of was assigned, self-assigned as my bodyguard. He came across the banister with a rifle, and that's one of the things he was trained to do. And he was trying to get a beam on this guy. And I had my back turned to this guy, and I raised my hands, and both hands and arms, and told Red, don't shoot. And there was this guy in the back of me with a gun pointed at my back, and then there was Red trying to shoot him with a rifle. And I didn't want anybody to get killed, so I blocked Red, and Red was trying to get around me to get a beam on him. And of course, Red was a, expert and, shoot. So while I was there blocking him, in nonviolence, we're trained to always remember the goal that you're trying to reach. And that's not to destroy people, but to save people. And I didn't want Red to kill this man. And it's not impossible, but it's probably not probable that a person would shoot somebody who's trying to save them. So I was trying to save this man who had the gun. And if he had shot me, he would have shot his shield, because I was shielding him from getting shot. So I was trying to save his life, but also save, Red's life, because if he'd shot that man, he would have been a victim too, ultimately.
Why do you think the white man attacked you?
Well, 2 weeks later, I got a visit from the FBI in Mobile, and I have it